From Soylent Green to Slurm Queen, nerdy foodies are passionate about a lot of things, but there's one thing they love above all else, and that is correcting people. This is Actually. Joining us today for a very special Actually Dirty Laundry crossover episode, we have Michael Saltzman.
This is not my beautiful set.
Lily Dew.
I know your secrets, but I don't know any nerd trivia.
And Mike Trapp.
You can't keep me away. I'm back. I'm back.
And joining us from the fact checker room, as always, is Brian David Gilbert.
Yeah.
And as I'm legally obligated to state, he is not forced to be here. He is here of his own will.
There's a funky smell in here, but I kind of like it.
What the hell is going on?
What is this show?
Mike, I know how you do this, but let me show you how I do this. I have here a stack of statements. These are incorrect statements about properties that you know and love. It is up to you to buzz in and correct me. You must start your corrections with actually, or I can't give you the point. You can buzz in and interrupt me at any time. And if you forget to say actually, someone can buzz in and steal the answer from you.
I can't wait for Trapp to forget to say actually.
It's going to I was thinking about that on the drive over here. It's like the funniest thing I could do is to not
Never
say
say
I'm
it.
actually.
Never say
I
it.
just be like, never sat in this position. I don't know what it's like.
Let's start with our first question, which is a shiny question.
You have changed this game too much. I'm leaving.
Yeah, we're doing things different here. Since this is a crossover episode, of course, over on the shiny stage, we've invited Grant, who will be our bartender this evening.
I've been here the whole time.
As you all know, shiny questions, just like shiny Pokemon, are worth the same amount of points. They're just a little bit different and a little more rare. This shiny question is called Super Spirits. There are tons of celebrity liquor brands in the world, but only a few of those celebrities have played superheroes. Can you guess which celebrity's liquor was used in these superhero-themed cocktails?
All right.
Grant will read a description of the cocktail with some hints, and it is up to you to guess which celebrity owns that liquor. Grant, why don't you give us our first cocktail?
My pleasure. Iffy, this is the South Side. A delicate, minty cocktail. It's made with gin, and you'll be green with envy that you didn't think of it.
Trapp.
I'm going to say this is Mr. Ryan Reynolds' alcohol.
That is
did he
correct.
press first? That's
yes.
what I was gonna say.
Who has played both Green Lantern and Deadpool.
And advertises for Mint Mobile.
That one, I'll say Grant came up with that on his own.
Yeah.
That was fully Grant.
Trapp, since you won that point, did you want that cocktail?
I will take that cocktail. Thank you very
Right.
much.
So we have our next drink. Grant, what have you made for us?
Iffy, we have a little margarita variation called a Margarita Negra. Served in a salted rocks glass and made with an ingredient called Mr. Black, a coffee liqueur. I am adamant that you'll enjoy it.
Oh, come on.
Oh no, it's not who I thought it was, but I buzzed too fast. The Rock?
That is correct.
He has a liquor line. I didn't know that.
Yes, yes, he has a
Dwayne Johnson?
tequila.
You said his superhero name.
In two chunks.
I heard tequila and I started.
You're like, I know what that is.
Lily, you get the point for that one. Do you want to take that drink or do you want to give it to someone else? You can-
Grant would like it. Grant would like it. I'm giving it to Grant.
Yeah, you deserve it.
To you.
Cheers.
I hope it's better than Black Adam.
All right, we have your next cocktail.
Folks, we have another tequila cocktail. This is a Cantaritos, which also happens to be the name of the vessel that it's served in. Clay. Ton of flavor. Something else I'm supposed to say. I have broken the ice and poured the drink right in.
Martin Scorsese.
That is incorrect.
Yeah, I know.
That's George Clooney.
You're absolutely right.
Yes. Let's kick some ice.
Yeah, there it is.
And it's served in clay. Ton of flavor. Michael Clayton, my favorite George Clooney movie.
That is not a superhero movie.
Well, I disagree. I think
Yeah.
he's a real
I'm with
super
you.
fixer.
Trapp, you get the point for that one. Do you want the drink or do you want to give it to me?
Let's give it to Iffy.
Okay. Grant has our next drink.
I will be astounded if any of you get
Yeah,
this.
yeah. This one is a Trapp level question.
Yeah.
All right.
With a little help from technology, I invented the Widow's Peak. Whiskey is the hero of this one, but it includes Campari and Amaro Montenegro, two other gemstones in this drink.
Scarlett Johansson?
That is incorrect.
John Goodman from The Righteous Gemstones.
God, I hope that's
That's
true.
the gemstone reference.
Yes.
I'm agog that you haven't gotten this.
Oh, that's Walton Goggins.
Yes, it is!
Oh my God.
He played the hero, Jay Widow, in I'm a Virgo. Another great show if you haven't watched it so far.
Yeah.
That's a
That's Boots
superhero
Riley,
show?
right?
Yeah.
It's
Boots
not.
Riley.
yeah.
It's a fantastic show, and he does a
man.
great job.
I'm actually less inclined to watch it now that I know it's a superhero show.
It's a little referent. There's a bit of it.
Got it.
But I'm more inclined to watch it now that I know that Walton Goggins is in it.
Yes, that's a point for you, Trapp, and you get to decide where that beverage goes.
Who wants it?
Give it to Saltzman.
I'll have it. Yeah, sure.
So, with 3 correct guesses, Trapp,
Yes.
you are the winner of this shiny
Oh, that's
question.
it.
So our first point goes to you.
Hey.
What a fucking surprise.
You just get 1 point for all of those?
No,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
how a shiny question works.
I thought I would get a point.
Yeah, how does it feel to be on the couch for the shiny question for the first time?
You know what? It's fun. I got a drink here.
Yeah, you got something.
I got nothing.
Lily, I got your back.
You're gonna get a bowl of clam chowder.
I can't wait. I'm feeling thirsty.
Let's move on to our next statement. Zaphod Beeblebrox, an important character in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, invented a cocktail called the Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster, described as the alcoholic equivalent of a mugging, expensive and bad for the head. It includes some wild ingredients like the tooth of an Algolian sun tiger, 3 cubes of Arcturian megagin, and the strangest of all, you have to add a slice of lemon.
Actually, you have to add a twist of lime.
You kind of landed on it.
It's not.
Can you tell me what you actually have to add instead
So
of
it's
lemon?
not slice of lemon,
It's
but
not
it's
a-
not twist of lime, but there's
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
A hint of mint?
No? Do either of you have?
I'll take a stab.
Yeah.
I love the Hitchhiker's Guide books. I remember the Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster. I don't remember the ingredients for it.
Fake fan.
Yeah, fake fan for sure. Ice Cube.
Incorrect.
Yeah, I know.
Saltzman?
What a British people like to drink.
Pim's Cup.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna say tea.
Dash of the Queen. That is incorrect. You get this one, Lily. You have to add an olive, but no slice of lemon. However, drinking one is like having your brain smashed out by a slice of lemon wrapped around a large gold brick.
This question was submitted by multiple different fans, so I'm sorry I didn't use it from the fan submitted, but I was like, I can't do a cocktail episode and not include this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I think of Douglas Adams, I think of the ships hung in the air the way that bricks don't. It was like, it's a great line, and it only kind of works on paper. I feel like the Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster has a similar kind of thing going on, where it's like hit with a lemon wrapped in a gold brick. It's like I think maybe I know what that means. I know the vibe, but
I feel like abstract incomprehensibility is kind of his whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
I feel like that's something you'd hear in like a 5 gum commercial.
Yeah.
It's like getting hit with the lemon wrapped in the brick.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like that. It's the Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster.
Let's move on to the next statement. Brian Jock's Redwall series is known for its anthropomorphic critters, its fantastical adventures, and its feast. Dishes like shrew bread, bubbling bobs, and deeper than ever turnip and tater and beetroot pie appear in the books, and rabbits are notorious for eating portions well past what would be expected of them.
Actually, badgers are notorious for eating portions past what would be expected of them.
This is what I like to call the iffy special. Got the right incorrection, but you're wrong about it. Does anybody know the correct animal?
Actually, voles are notorious for eating those portions.
That is incorrect. Saltzman?
You know, I'm just gonna go with Martin and the protagonist and stuff, and I'm gonna say mice.
Ooh, incorrect. That is close. Lily, you snuck this point. It was actually hares.
Hares.
Hares are the critters with the voracious appetites and are different than rabbits in the series. Hares are loud, comical, obnoxious, and perilous. They are often mistaken for rabbits, who rarely appear in the series, and they are very quirky characters. Those that do appear are invariably pacifists.
It was just like yesterday, actually. I was scrolling online, and there was a picture that someone posted that said, like, the difference between rabbits and hares. And it was 2 animals feeding at like, a feeding bin. And the hare is, like, a good, like, 1.5 feet taller than the rabbit.
there's
It's just like this
huge.
like enormous like deer of a rabbit, and the
Yes.
little rabbit's like, it's like, yeah, those are different. Those are different animals.
It's like a coyote versus a dachshund.
yeah, truly.
I'll admit that when I was fact-checking this specific statement, my fact-checking was, are rabbits and
Yeah.
hares actually different? And they are.
It feels like the kind of thing that people would like colloquially think was true and might actually
Yeah.
be totally
Can
incorrect.
we throw
though.
up a photo of a hare next to a
Absolutely.
rabbit?
It feels rude for me to say that rabbits are cuter, but I
Yeah.
do think
No,
that is what it is.
Hares look like how people in the Middle Ages would have made taxidermy of rabbits when you describe it to them.
I've seen one of these before.
Yeah.
So that's a point for Lily Doo.
All right.
All right. We'll move on to your next statement.
All right.
In Kathy Yon's Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, Harley describes the perfect egg sandwich. Eggs, bacon, a soft buttered roll, American cheese at least 6 months out of date, and stray Armenian arm hair. Unfortunately, Harley never gets to eat one in the movie because Renee Montoya knocks it out of her hands.
Uh-oh. I actually don't have a good guess. Actually, the arm hair should be from a Pakistani man.
That is incorrect.
Actually, I believe Harley does actually get to eat a sandwich at the end of the movie.
That is correct. The closing shot of the movie shows Harley biting into one of these sandwiches, just not the one she gets in the initial sequence, which is knocked out of her hands by Montoya. Great job.
Damn.
Thank you.
Proud
I
of you,
saw that movie too.
I haven't
Hurts
seen the
the most.
movie yet, but I've heard so much about this sandwich that one, I want to see it, and then I want to make it.
The food I do honestly miss from New York is a cheap-ass breakfast sandwich from any corner on
Yes.
the street.
But that's because it's a good bagel.
No, it's not on a bagel.
It's on a
It's not on a bagel.
roll.
And you know what? I'm glad we're talking about this. Stop putting using bagels for breakfast sandwiches. It's bullshit.
Okay, no, wait, you've gone too far now.
Wrong.
Too much bread
You're both
for a
wrong.
A
breakfast
bagel
sandwich.
is perfect.
And also,
bread.
if we're getting into the bagel discussion, I will say the LA bagel. It's up there. We have a good bagel.
I think that the big thing for me with New York bagels versus LA bagels is that if I was in Brooklyn, I could go into literally any place and be sure that I was getting an 8 out of 10 bagel.
Yeah.
Here, I can't, it's a little bit, I have to go somewhere.
I think it's true of like the breakfast sandwiches too, because it's like you can get a lot of great breakfast sandwiches and a lot of great breakfast burritos in LA, but I don't want like a caramelized bacon on a brioche bun fucking thing. I want the gristliest bacon you've ever had, American cheese, and a flat ass roll, and I want it to cost $5, and it's gonna be great, and you can get it on any street corner. That's what I want. and
Why
you can't
have
get
a
that.
roll when you can have a bagel?
Because it's too much bread. It squeezes all the filling out the other side.
And the skin is too much on both sides. It pushes the eggs out. Lily,
If you're gonna have a bagel, the bagel should be the star of the show. If you're having a breakfast sandwich, don't put the star that is the bagel there. That's a starring role for its own.
That's putting two divas on the same
Putting two
stage.
divas on the
yeah,
same
I'm
stage.
with
it's
you.
a double threat. Who doesn't like that?
It's too much.
I do think they're able to stumble into like a corner store at night. It's like, yo, give me the chopped cheese, please. Give me the chopped cheese. I need to eat the chopped cheese. I'm not going to survive the night.
You
Please.
became Donald Trump somewhere in that impression.
Let's move on to our next statement.
Reasonable.
But this one is a fan-submitted statement.
Oh, you know
Submitted
it's gonna
by
be hard.
Harlan Sinclair. In Dragon Age Origins, players and their companions can consume a variety of questionable brews. In addition to drinking the standard health potions, stamina draughts, and Illyrium potions offered throughout the game, characters can gulp down such delicacies as Antivan brandy, Dwarven Regicide antidote, a vial of concentrated blood magic, and even a goblet of darkspawn blood.
I'm pretty sure, because we're specifying Dragon Age Origins and we're super fucking pedantic in this.
Yes, we are.
And I know we drink the goblet of darkspawn blood. I know you can drink the vial of concentrated blood magic because I know exactly where that happens. It's in that weird undead mage's place. You have to drink a goblet of darkspawn blood to become a Grey Warden. So that is just given.
Of course.
Stamina droughts. There are no stamina droughts in the original game. That's what I'm going to go for in Dragon Age Origins. They only exist in the sequels when they introduced a new system.
Did you say actually?
oh my God.
Like, you didn't say I'm actually, and that is incorrect.
Jesus.
I thought
Thank
it
God,
was
though.
correct, so I
It
was
was
gonna
good.
buzz in with the
Yes.
There are
actually.
stamina droughts in Origins, huh?
I'm gonna say that actually, there is no antidote for Dwarven Regicide. It just happens. You can't undo it.
No, there is an antidote.
All right.
That is incorrect.
That's very funny. That is the funniest one on the
Yes.
list.
I see it coming to Saltzman, but Lily, you buzzed in.
No, I thought I would come in after him. Can we stagger these? Oh
I
no.
haven't buzzed yet.
Pass.
Actually, characters can slurp and not gulp.
They can slurp and gulp interchangeably.
Oh my God.
Saltzman.
It's health poultices. You don't drink health potions in those
That
games.
is.
He didn't say him actually.
You didn't say him actually.
I'm actually it's health poultices, not health potions.
That is correct.
Shame on you.
I deserve to have that taken from me.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
I even have a drink.
Fucking hell.
Characters in Dragon Age Origins drank health poultices, not potions. Poultices are topical ointments meant to be applied directly to a wound, a fact which the characters in Dragon Age Origins ignored and drank anyway. This discrepancy was corrected in Dragon Age 2 and joked about in Dragon Age Inquisition.
That's very funny. I like the idea of all these characters just opening up balms and being like, oh, this makes me feel good.
I fully get it from like a game design standpoint. They just were reusing the drinking animation because they're like, well, we already do it for all the other ones.
Yeah.
But some poor lore nerd was like, ooh, what if they do poultices? Isn't that interesting and fun? No, it's only potions. Only potions forever.
It's
Yeah.
just like a bunch of heroes eating chapstick in a dungeon. I think it's great.
that hurt.
Chug me one of that bird's bees.
Hold on, we're up against the boss.
Oh my God, what are you doing?
Oh, it's a health. It's for my health.
I don't want to fight this guy. He's a freak and weirdo.
So that is a point for Trapp, and we're moving on to the next statement. Over the history of the Star Trek universe, the Federation gets better and better at creating synthetic food. In Captain Pike's day, the food synthesizers built meals out of glucose matrix. By the 31st century depicted in Discovery, the Federation could craft near-perfect simulations of real food out of quantum foam. Saltzman.
I mean, I'm taking a wild swing at this. I don't know my Star Trek lore super well, but the Federation is not actually responsible for this technology. This has its origins outside the Federation.
It's Cisco.
Yeah.
Chicken trucks rolling up to the Enterprise.
It's full of foam.
Just pumping pink slurry into the...
Hey, you gotta make sure you peel back the... No, that is incorrect.
Grant, do you want to
Grant?
buzz in?
Yeah, I think I know what the answer is, but I won't get any points, so I don't know.
Whisper in Lily's ear.
Totally.
Get over here, Gunther.
Actually.
Hold on, Trapp buzzed in.
Did you hear what Grant whispered?
I did hear, so I'm gonna
Grant, whisper quieter! Oh my God!
now I have to ask myself the question, is it less unfair if I answer it than if Lily did?
No.
Actually, it's not called a food synthesizer, it's a replicator.
You check on that, Brian David.
What? That's the answer.
So I believe they can be called replicators, but in this case, it's not capital F, capital S, food synthesizer.
It is just a
a
of
term for a
technology.
thing that
Saltzman,
synthesizes
get over
food.
here and do your job. I have no power here. Unbelievable.
Actually, it was by the 33rd century.
That is incorrect. Answer we were looking for
Yeah.
was the 31st century is an era of scarcity after most dilithium is destroyed, and Starfleet Admiral Vance admits to an Orion pirate that the era's replicators create food out of human poop.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Hold on. Do we know that poop isn't quantum foam?
Depends on what you ate that day.
Depends on if you ate quantum foam.
So there was no points for that round.
Good question, though. I like that.
Yeah. Blue milk is enjoyed in the Star Wars universe by heroes and villains alike. Luke Skywalker drank it as a teen on Tatooine in A New Hope and as an old man on Ahch-To in The Last Jedi. And when a disgraced Cyril Karn had to move back to his mother's apartment in Andor, he often had it in his breakfast cereal.
Actually, villains hate blue milk. You know when like a product gets like boycotted by like Republicans and like we will not like there's all this Starbucks cup. Blue milk is the galactic equivalent of Starbucks cups for villains.
No, that is incorrect.
All right, well.
And in fact, I think there's a deleted scene with that big head dude we never see again drinking the blue milk.
Let us see Darth Vader just pouring blue milk into
Actually, the milk that he freshly drinks on Ahch-To is not blue milk. It is its own thing.
That is correct.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hey, Saltzman is right. Yeah,
How does Grant know all this?
Two fact checkers
Yeah,
on
yeah,
this
yeah.
side at this point, which is nice.
milking those sitting cow things that are kind of giving him eyes while he's milking them.
Yes, the blue milk in A New Hope and Andor is bantha milk. In The Last Jedi, Luke gets green milk fresh from the udder of a Thala siren.
There's Cyril Karn enjoying his blue milk, and there are the thalasirens that you milk for green milk.
Thalasirens made me a little uncomfortable because they look like they could be sentient.
There's a knowing glance between, like,
Yeah.
the thing looks at him afterward, and it's like, both of you know something's going on.
Those are
Also,
adult woman titties.
That's what I was gonna say. I've seen cat nipples. I've seen, udders of a cow. I've seen pig udders. Those are titties. Like, those are just straight up titties.
Those are a lady's titties.
Yeah.
It was weird when Luke licked him, really subtly.
And he was like, oh.
He's lived alone there for an extremely
He just
long
buried
time.
his head between them.
All right, so that is a point for Saltzman on the board.
I'm back, baby.
Let's move on to the next statement. In Our Town, a particularly gruesome X-Files episode, Mulder and Scully investigate an Arkansas chicken processing plant where human beings are being slaughtered by the evil cigarette-smoking man and his allies in the syndicate and turned into food slurry for future alien colonists.
Actually, it is not the smoking man who is doing this.
That is correct.
Yeah.
The answer is what happened at the chicken plant was a simple instance of human-on-human cannibalism, with the cannibals gaining eternal youth in the process, but also having their brains rotted by Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease.
Which is another name for Kuru, right?
I think so.
It's like the human version of mad cow. I think this is
Yes.
Kuru. Yeah.
That is correct.
I wonder if this aired like when the mad cow scare was happening.
It's possible. I think
Yeah.
it came around the right time. At least it was definitely, what I think is fun also about that is that they never explain how it does still give them eternal youth.
Yeah.
Like, they get over the point where they're like, oh yeah, all these people, they're mad, they don't know what they're doing, and they're killing everybody. But it is still true that they all were like 20 years younger than they should have been.
The cannibalism was giving them eternal youth. It was just bad luck that they...
Yeah, exactly, because the only reason they got it was because of the person they ate in the cold open. And so they rebelled against the person who brought in that person because it was like, you've cursed us.
You should have gone through customs. You should have... like,
Where's the CDC
yeah.
for human meat?
Yeah. So that's a point for Trapp.
Take it.
4 points Trapp, 2 points Lily Do, and 1 point Saltzman.
It
I
hurts.
believe I'm on the board.
We're gonna move forward into our next shiny question. Ooh. Fantasy Pharma. In this shiny question, list the fictional drug, pharmaceutical, and/or substance used by the character in the scene on the screen.
Okay.
Let's show the first one. Lily?
Baby aspirin.
That is incorrect. Saltzman.
Damn it!
I think it's just pipe weed, isn't it?
That is correct.
Yeah,
Son of a
pipe
bitch.
weed. We all agree it's just weed,
it's
right?
just what he's smoking in it. I thought it was like a substance he took to make him magical. I was like, he's just a wizard.
That's why you said baby aspirin?
Great question. That's why you said baby aspirin.
No, I just didn't have a guess. I thought it'd be funny, and it was.
It kills. It's true.
Let's show the next one. Trapp.
Still pipe weed.
Yeah, the first picture is when you started smoking, and this is when you finished the
This is your
joint.
brain on pipe weed.
I ate a whole pipe weed brownie and I'm losing my mind, guys.
That is incorrect, unfortunately. Saltzman.
I want to say that this is like some form of like monster blood or something like that.
There's a name for it.
Yeah.
He was poisoned, but this is when he's being treated.
Oh, I see.
Specifically.
Lily.
Samwise sucks him off.
People make fun of someone getting sucked off as an answer. And I gotta say, and I think it's a good actually answer. And I don't care what anybody on TikTok says when Stitch sucks him off.
Look at his face. Come on.
I'm gonna say this is some bullshit like the light of the North Star.
It is some bullshit like that, but it is not that.
All right.
It was Athelas or King's foil.
Ah.
Classic.
All right, get your clicking fingers ready. Trapp.
That spice, baby.
That is indeed spice. Or
melange from Shai Hulud, the old man of the desert.
Next one.
Oh, shit. I know what this is. Come on. Hold on. It's blank tank. It's a blank tank, and the first word is the name of the thing that he's on.
Yep.
It is made
Trapp.
from...
Death sticks.
No.
He probably tried some death sticks in his day, though,
Saltzman.
right?
I'm going to talk this out for a second.
go for it.
So in the Knights of the Old Republic video game, there's an entire mission that revolves around the kelp that is harvested for this drug. And there's a whole scandal with an underwater thing there. And I can remember that the name of the kelp was Daniel. I have no fucking idea
That
what
is
the kelp
incorrect.
is called.
CBD?
It's the Bacta tank.
What is this from?
Star Wars.
Yeah, that's Luke.
Damn, he's not looking good.
He's not good.
That's why I gotta put
He's
him
had
in
a
the
lot
goo.
of trauma.
Let's look at the next one. Trapp.
That is replicated cocaine.
Yes, from the Replicator.
Yes, of course.
Lily.
Cocaine, but there's fentanyl in it.
Incorrect.
All
I was
right.
just gonna say salvia. I have no fucking idea.
That is cordrazine.
That sounds like a real.
That sounds real, yeah.
Yeah.
All of these drugs are completely fictional. Cordrazine is also fictional as well, but it's also a rock band, which I assume is named after Cordrazine from the Star Trek thing. It's
Are they
great.
metal or pop punk?
They are a rock band formed in '96 and
That makes
in
sense.
Australia.
Okay, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Next one.
Propaganda.
Ooh. Is that not the greatest mind-altering substance of all?
Yeah.
Can we not agree?
The drug of the masses.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
Moloko?
No.
But that is a drug he takes.
That is from the very beginning, but this is specifically
me
the drug.
drugs.
I'll even help. It's called blank 114. Trapp.
Formula 114.
Incorrect.
All right.
Fahrenheit.
That is
No, all right,
incorrect.
fine.
Lily.
Compound.
Incorrect. We'll call it there. It was serum.
Serum.
114.
Serum.
Damn.
Ah, there it is.
For your skin.
All right, next one.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, he's on something?
Yeah,
He's in the Matrix.
that is incorrect.
The red pill.
That is
Damn.
correct.
That's what I knew.
All right, next one.
He's getting sucked off, yeah. You cannot tell me he's not getting sucked off in this scene.
There. Or at least Jade off.
Trapp.
It's the super soldier formula. Does it have a more specific name than that?
Yes,
It's
you
also
had
serum,
every
right?
word
The
except
super
last-
soldier serum?
That is correct.
Yeah, serum. We love.
Why'd
we
you
love-
say serum for him?
Because he was gonna get it.
Lily, you said, oh, he's not getting sucked off, he's getting jade off, as if jacked is a worse word than sucked?
Yeah, he's getting Jade off.
Yeah, okay, I just was wondering.
No, I think she was just
wasn't
being
sure
less formal, is what was going on there. She just felt more familiar.
His hand is clearly like
His
out of
hand is somewhere. You know, one hand's holding him, one hand's Jaying him.
Jaying him. Oh, please, this is a family show.
Jaying him. Oh, I'm ready for my J-O now.
Yes, a soldier has needs. All right, let's show the last one.
Oh, okay. This is from Misery. Morphine?
Incorrect.
His own flesh?
That is incorrect.
I haven't seen Misery in a long time.
This is another fictional drug.
Yeah.
They made it up
It's
for
fictional,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it does sound like 100% something a pharma company would name.
Pardrazamine.
Incorrect.
Thoramidine.
Incorrect.
A thoracide.
Incorrect.
Carmaxicil.
Walmartafil.
You gotta stop saying these because pharma companies will steal these. They are going to take that.
Qdoba. Qdoba.
I will.
You can't tell me Qdoba. I know Qdoba is a rest stop. You can't tell me that doesn't sound like a modern, like, I was not shitting at all. Then I took Qdoba. And now the quantum foam is
Flowing. This was Novril.
Novril.
Saltzman, you had one. Lily, you had none. With 3 correct, that point goes to you, Trapp, bring you to 5 points.
I'll take it.
In the Slice of Life movie Only Yesterday, Teiko recalls her father bringing home a pineapple, an exotic fruit that no one in the family knows how to carve. By the time they learn how to serve it, it's partially rotten and a huge disappointment. This happens in 1966, the same year the Beatles came to Japan.
Actually, this doesn't happen in 1966 because there's 2 time periods in this film, and it takes place and it happens in a different time period.
Ooh, that's a very good guess because I know which movie you're thinking about.
Yep, and I can't
but
think
it
of what it's
isn't
called.
this movie.
It's not this one.
Yes.
Great.
Is it Weathering with You or am I?
Your name?
Your name,
Your
that's
name.
it. Yes.
Your name.
Your
yes.
name.
In my head, I was going, call me by your name, but that's not right.
Different fruit, different
fruit.
situation.
Ow, 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 ow. What's going on up there?
Actually, by the time they learn how to serve it, it's delicious.
That is,
Close, but not quite
yeah,
right.
that is close,
Let me-
but
can I
not
take a
quite
stab?
right.
They
Yes,
cook
take-
it and it's good.
I would say that actually they learn to serve it, but they don't actually serve it. They leave it as like a sort of symbol of it remains uneaten because it's sort of like a status symbol.
That is incorrect as well. Saltzman.
Actually, they learn how to serve it. It's partially rotten, but despite it being partially rotten, they enjoy it greatly because of what it represents for them, metaphorically.
That's incorrect. I'll give it to Lily because she was the first one to kind of land on it. The pineapple was not rotten. It's not ripe, so it was hard and unsweet.
The thing I guessed for pineapples was a thing that was true in like the 1800s or something, where England would like import pineapples, and it became this thing of like, it was like a status symbol, because pineapples grow in like tropical environments. And it's like, oh, if you are wealthy enough to be able to grow a pineapple in England, that means you have like
I need you to fact check
greenhouse,
this.
you have people. If you like, had a big party, the pineapple became the sort of centerpiece of like, look at the pineapple, look how much money I have. But then people wouldn't eat it because it was so expensive. You would never eat the pineapple.
Yeah.
And it would sit there until it rotted.
That does seem to be correct, indeed, Trapp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I just want you to know, Trapp, I believed you, but Saltzman asked me to fact
That's
check.
okay.
I wanted it to be funny if it wasn't true.
Yeah, I'm just bullshit.
He's a dirty liar.
So that is a point for Lily. Your next statement. Despite appearing in 137 episodes
Oh,
of fandom-themed game show Actually, Mike Trapp has only ever acquired 5 points. 4 were from Season 4, Episode 9 for questions on Power Rangers, The Sound of Music, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and Star Wars. 1 is from Season 5, Episode 14, gifted to him by contestant James Willems to make it clear that the episode had 3 winners and 1 loser.
Actually, Mike Trapp acquired some points from the live New York Comic-Con episode of Actually.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't think I did get any points there, but that is more episodes.
So actually, there's 138 episodes.
Well, you were gonna get it because you got the thing that was wrong. There's 1 point missing, and if you can name where the point came from.
I also got a point for being such a lovable scamp.
That is incorrect.
Well, I didn't say I'm actually.
Yeah.
Actually, did we like give you a point for like a birthday or something? I don't know.
That is incorrect, so we'll give it to Lily. Trapp has 6 points. He gave himself 1 in Season 1, Episode 9, for correctly identifying that nobody on the couch deserved points for a question on Back to the Future. The bell dings, indicating a point has been awarded to Trapp. Yay! Now it's time for your final shiny question, Actually. Here before you, we have 4 wines. 1 is officially licensed Star Trek wine, 1 is officially licensed Game of Thrones wine, and 1 is officially licensed Lord of the Rings wine. The 4th is just a standard wine. Can you tell which is which from taste alone?
And can you tell us the price point of some of these wines?
These range anywhere from $18 to $60.
Okay.
So go ahead and taste your wines, and while you do that, Grant, can you tell us a little bit about wine tasting?
So, all 4 of these wines are exactly the same grape.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
They're all Cabernet.
Yes.
1 is 85% Cabernet and 15% Merlot.
And you won't tell us which one is that?
No,
As if we could guess it?
that's the whole thing, Lily.
They
No,
all
I-
taste the same to me.
One of them is corked.
Yeah, it's B.
This bottle is off.
Well, there's one that when I smell.
No,
makes
there's
me
definitely one
bad.
that tastes distinct from the
Yeah.
others.
That's good.
When you're checking a wine for corkage, you want to smell for sort of a musty, basement-y smell, and this one has that.
Oh, nice. That's great. Also, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm asking you for a fact check here. But I heard that if you have a very old vintage of wine, one way to completely ruin it is to shake it up a whole lot right beforehand.
The reason for that is because there's a little bit of air in the bottle, and that will oxidize everything.
Okay, that's good. And it's also very good if I want to be petty to a very wealthy wine collector.
What I will say, that actually shaking a bottle of just okay wine is a good way to open it up right before you pour it.
Okay. And there's the thing you do where you put it in a blender. Is that?
You can, that's right, you can speed decant it by incorporating a lot of oxygen right away.
You'll also
Oxygen
look
is good, good
insane.
point. Yeah, you look like a real
Like
asshole.
some wine? All right, I'm locked in.
Let's see if I can bring in that last point.
Well, whatever. It is what it is.
Got it. All right, so Saltzman, we'll start with you.
What I think is going on here is wine A right here. This is the Lord of the Rings wine. I'm quite confident of that because it made me think of friendship.
Oh.
All right, Lily, what did you choose?
I thought A was Star Trek, simply because I guessed 2 other ones, and these were the options I had left.
Okay.
I also thought A was Star Trek. I thought A had a more acidic note to it, and it felt like maybe it was like they're going for like a Klingon, like war blood kind of thing. I thought maybe the more acidic wine might be a Star Trek one.
A was, in fact, the regular wine.
I flipped regular and Star Trek. I should have
Oh.
guessed
I'll also
regular.
say Lily and I have these same answers for all these wines, so
Really?
So we're
we're gonna live or
points
die.
not?
Yeah.
This is my chance to get a point.
I'll also add that I thought if you're making a Star Trek wine, Fuck Me Up Scotty might be a good.
Yeah.
That's more of like a Star Trek Everclear.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fuck me up, Sky.
Yeah.
A 151.
I mean, I feel like that should
Oh,
just
yeah.
be a scotch, shouldn't it?
Beat me up,
And the
Scotchy.
bottle can look like the transporters.
Yes. Let's do B. And we'll start with you this time, Trapp.
All right. I thought this one tasted a little fruitier, perhaps suited to more modern palates, a more crowd pleaser thing. So I thought that was the Game of Thrones one, which I am guessing is called a red wedding.
Oh, the wedding where everyone dies?
Yeah, but it's a red, so you know.
You'll be sad to hear that it's probably just, I think, House of the Dragon Cabernet
it's-
Sauvignon.
Well,
Not as
It's
interesting
House
at
of the
all. I'm
Dragon.
sorry.
Whoa, okay, so it's House of the Dragon. That's very
A
different.
little more.
Wish I'd known that.
Different.
Wish I had known
I
that.
had
I'm sorry.
known.
I was speaking of the overarching world. I apologize.
And Lily, I'm gonna guess that was your answer as well?
You guessed correctly, and that is because when I smelled it, it smelled like it had gone bad, but now I actually think that's C. And I was like, which of these shows has not been in production for a while and has not had a big marketing budget in a while? And maybe some wine has just been sitting around.
Got it. All right, and Saltzman.
I mean, I already know I'm wrong because I thought it said it was the store-bought wine. So I don't really have a reason for that. I just really wanted to get it right, and I felt it in my heart.
I'm sorry.
It led me astray.
Well, it didn't leave Lily and Trapp astray because they are correct. It was the House of Dragons wine.
Here we have the House of the Dragon Red. And that was, in fact, the corked wine.
Thank
Hey, I did think that was the corked wine.
When I smelled it, that was the one I had a reaction to.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's musty.
All
Yeah.
right, Saltzman, we'll start with you. What did you get for C?
I said it was Star Trek because I don't know why I said that was Star Trek. Come on, we know I'm just guessing here. Don't make me come up with a reason for this. There's no reason to think that that's Star Trek.
Lily.
I said it was Lord of the Rings. I did taste this one, and it tasted very kind of bland and generic. And I was like, that's a wine for everyone. That's a wine that can be nominated for multiple Oscars. That's a wine just that's palatable for the general public.
And I'm guessing you had the
I
same?
also said Lord of the Rings for this one, mainly because I liked D the least, and I thought maybe that was the store-bought one, so it was kind of just process of elimination. And I'd also throw out that, I know these are all Cabernet Sauvignons, but if you were making a Lord of the Rings wine, I would throw out that Sam Gamay might be a good name for a
Nobody
Lord of
told
the
us to
Rings
do
wine.
this portion of the exam.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you just name it after like whatever the elf? Like, isn't there like an elf wine in Lord of the Rings? Like,
Yes, but Sam Gamay is more fun.
you're right.
I did Google elf wine, Lord of the Rings, and I want you to know it's called elf wine.
That's
the name.
That's what I thought.
Pipeweed, elf
As
wine, they
is.
get straight down the barrel.
Oh, no, hey, wait, sorry, just kidding. Elfwine was the first son of King Eomer. He's not related to wine at all.
My name is
Yeah,
Elf.
Elfwine is just a son.
Saltzman, get over there.
Yeah, I need some help.
What are you saying right now?
Elfwine's a dude.
Elfwine's my second cousin's
It's not a
name.
wine.
It means elf friend.
Well, you know, Saltzman, you said, you were just guessing and there's no way to taste it. But I'm gonna have to disagree because Lily and Trapp got that one right as well.
It's fucking bullshit.
Hell yeah, you can really taste the Lord of the Rings.
Fucking bullshit, man.
Now, this is a fun fact about this wine. This bottle is the heaviest.
What did y'all put, I guess, process of elimination?
Well, yeah, so like I said, I liked D the least, so I just thought that was maybe the standard one.
I actually had the reverse thinking. I was like, I feel like if you're a brand trying to create a wine and it's Star Trek, you want your wine to be really specific maybe, and it maybe not even for everyone. So I thought that's why Star Trek was A and then D was the regular.
I thought it was Game of Thrones. I didn't think it was Star Trek, so I don't have a reason for thinking it was Star Trek, which is the right answer, by the way. I said it was Game of Thrones because I thought I did the other three, so now I'm gonna put Game of Thrones on.
Although I suppose you could put the same answer for all of them and guarantee yourself at least one point.
So what you're saying is I did a worse job than I could.
Well, I'm just saying.
You could have gamed the system.
Process of elimination.
Wow.
I guess you could have doubled up.
This is the Chateau Picard. It's the most beautiful label of the bunch.
With 2 correct, Lily and Trapp, y'all get a point for this round.
Also, by the way, the elf wine that gets elves drunk comes from Dorwinion, which makes a heady wine. And it's in The Hobbit as well. And it's, again, strong enough to let even elves get drunk and fall asleep. It's a
Wait,
lot.
and fall asleep?
And fall asleep.
Oh, that's impressive.
That's like roofies for elves,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like-
for
They
sure.
don't do that, right?
Yeah, I truly think if a man drank this wine, they would die immediately, for sure.
Now it is time for our last question.
Do you think they still do the thing, Mike?
As always, concerns a real-life skill.
Still there.
Do it!
Although we've all seen old-timey shows where soldiers and pirates clean their wounds with whiskey, it's definitely not recommended. No matter how cool it might look to pour a hard liquor onto an open cut, only an isopropyl alcohol of 70% or higher should be used to clean wounds.
Actually, it should be 90% or higher.
That is incorrect.
Actually, if you have a high enough proof vodka, you can use it to clean wounds.
That is incorrect as well.
Actually, isopropyl alcohol of 70% or higher should not be used to clean an open wound.
You are close enough. You shouldn't use any type of alcohol to clean an open wound. It can cause tissue damage, which will take longer to heal. You should use clean water and a mild soap. You get that point, Saltzman.
I have young children, and I have to know.
Oh, yeah.
And also, pirates are probably drinking rum,
Our
right? Probably like a rum thing.
You're right.
final scores are Saltzman with 2, Lily Do with 5, and Trapp with 6, making him our winner for today.
You've fully doubled your points
Yeah.
now. You have in one single
In one
sitting.
sitting.
Hell yeah.
Thank you all for playing, and thank you for watching. Join us next time for even more pedantic corrections here on I'm Actual.